knowledge according to Jesus? Jesus or the Father?
They have the same knowledge.
Okay, so now Paper Boy just gonna call in front of us, gonna say Jesus is a liar. Jesus said, no one knows the day and the hour, not even the angels in the heaven. Come on, please. Only the Father. Is Jesus as God? Is it the Father or other than the Father?
But the problem is, you as Muslims like to say.
Answer the question.
Let me answer.
Let him answer.
Let me answer in my own way.
No, answer your own way. Answer the question.
Let me answer. Now, as Muslims say, they'll always say, go to the original, right? So when Jesus says the word no, the Greek word is eido, E-I-D-O. And
Did you speak Greek?
that word can also mean to proclaim, because there are different interpretations of this verse. Now, because if you read the whole Bible, Jesus calls himself the bridegroom and calls Israel the bride. So when Jesus was actually talking about that verse, and this is the interpretation that I take.
Yeah, you take.
Yes.
Are you an expert, by the way?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Are you an expert of the Bible?
I'm saying this is.
Are you an expert of the Bible, yes or no?
I'm not an expert.
So how can you explain the Bible from
Because
an expert?
I'm taking the expert opinion.
Which who? Name one.
If you read the commentaries,
Name one.
after
Get the commentary now, because everyone says, "Oh, look."
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's fine. I'm going to read the commentary right now and what it says. And
No problem.
Agree
But
with
even that's still a problem, because who has the absolute authority to proclaim?
Because
God. If someone has the absolute authority to
but he
proclaim,
said about knowing, he's now changing
No,
it. Because
but still the problem.
Let me finish my
He's still
answer. Let
facing-
me finish my answer.
I think
Anyway.
someone dropped it.
No one's done anything. But this is my thing. Because Jesus calls
Smells,
himself.
man. I think
actually,
you.
someone
He said
has.
no one.
Yeah.
I think
someone
it's-
has.
Come this side. I think that guy.
Israelites would understand, because Jesus was a Jew speaking to Jews, so he's got to speak to them in a way they understand.
But that's different subject. Who's not Israelite? Because according to the Bible, to be an Israelite, you have to come from the seed of your father.
Anyway, so
Anyway, I like this one.
no,
Anyway.
because we'll go into it. But he
Yeah,
was an
different thing,
Israelite.
yeah.
He
We'll
was
come
a-
talk
he was
about
a
it
Jew.
anyway.
But now, this is one of the interpretations.
Yeah, show me. Where
Yeah,
you
I'll
say
get
that.
after I
Okay.
say it. So Jesus is referring to them, talking about terminology in relationship to a marriage. Because in Jewish culture, even
To
though-
marriage.
listen to what I'm saying. So even in Jewish culture,
Yeah.
when you get married, it is the father who has the honor of announcing the marriage, even though the bride and the groom know the date of the wedding. And I'm going to read the interpretation for you. But this is so you can say the word "ido" also means proclaim, because in Corinthians 2:2, Paul also uses the same word to say that he came to proclaim the gospels of Jesus Christ. So if we now reinterpret it as no one proclaimed, because remember that Jesus was asked by disciples about the hour. So now if his response is no one proclaims the hour apart from the Father who has the honor of it, then it goes in context with their question, because they wanted to know the hour.
What does it mean
he's
proclaim? What does it
saying
mean proclaim?
to announce it
To whom? He's going to announce it.
to the heavens. To
Okay, who has the absolute authority?
That's not saying about
No.
God,
What I'm saying,
because-
let me hear me out, because you said clearly, because sometimes you have to listen to yourself.
Yeah, read, and I'll read the
You said
interpretation.
clearly that Jesus shares same attribute of the Father. That's what he said, which is God. From the attribute of God, he has the absolute authority. Do you agree with that?
Say that again, because
From the attributes of God, he has the absolute authority.
In terms of authority, we say in terms of the Trinitarian concept is that they play different roles. So, for example, the Father didn't come to earth; it was Christ, and it's the Holy Spirit that
No,
comes
there's no
after.
authority. No.
Yes, because
Authority
they have
means
different
you
roles.
dictate to someone. Show me where Jesus dictates to God to do something which God. Jesus always is being dictated from the Father to do something. Understand? The Father, Jesus' role was to pray to the Father. Not the Father pray to Jesus. Now to any human being out there, everyone knows naturally that the one who has the absolute authority is who? God, the Creator. Do you agree with that?
Hold on, because
go
I'm just looking for this.
Anyway, that's what we know. So even if Jesus said God will the Father will proclaim, but if Jesus is God, he should proclaim, and no one dictate to him what to do, because that is the authority of the Creator. Therefore, if Jesus doesn't have the right to proclaim, announce the day of judgment, the Father has something extra than Jesus. Therefore, they don't share the same attribute as you claimed.
Also, if Jesus and the Father have the same attributes, therefore they have the same will and same power.
Same will.
So if Jesus does an action, the Father has to do the same
Barakallah,
action.
that's a good one.
contradiction.
That's a contradiction. Because if they have same attributes, they have the absolute power, the absolute will, and the absolute authority. The fact that someone has a different will and different power and different authority, two gods.
Simple. They have to have the same will then.
Paper boy, you're
Yeah,
a
but
miskin.
why-
wallahi.
Yeah, but in
إن
terms
الله
of,
إنما
in
إلهكم
terms of
إله
yeah, but the thing is, in
واحد.
terms of having
Your
the
Lord
same
is
will,
one God.
yeah, but what is the Arabic word? The Hebrew word is ahad,
أحد يعني.
which can be a unity.
But it's also about unity.
Yeah, but you said the
no,
Lord
no,
God
واحد.
is
I said
one.
واحد. No, it's أحد.
It's a-
أنا واحد. إلهكم واحد.
In the Shema,
What about Arabic language? Quran.
you
واحد.
said God is one.
I just أحد. أحد is أحد. But واحد is not واحد.
Where does it say in the
واحد only
Quran?
one.
Ahad.
Yeah, no, the verse I quote is not قل هو الله أحد. I quote another verse. إنما إلهكم واحد. Not أحد.
Okay.
So واحد is different than
So
أحد.
there's a verse where it says ahad as well.
Yeah, but واحد mean واحد.
So there's two verses.
No,
One with
no,
wahad.
no, wait.
Okay.
First of all, don't try to explain
I'm looking for the
Hebrew
thing.
because Arabic language.
No,
Understand? Because
yeah.
let me make it clear to you. In English language, it is.
Yeah.
It means you say.
Yeah.
Okay. It is. It's
So
a
if
word.
we're talking about Arabic,
You know in Egyptian
but-
language.
But
it means
remember,
different thing.
yeah, but
it
no,
is.
no, I thought you were talking about the Hebrew.
No,
Because obviously we go by the Hebrew.
I know Arabic.
Yeah,
Arabic.
but obviously that's what I'm saying. The word ahad.
No problem,
I
bro.
mean-
Show me where. Anyway, we already, to be honest, even if it said proclaim, shows you still Jesus had to
Yeah, but
submit.
Yeah, but submitting, there's nothing. Submitting is nothing.
Go on. Bismillah,
There's
Bismillah.
nothing. What's wrong with submitting?
Go submit someone else.
Because
Paper boy.
because
Disbelief, paper boy. Kafarta billahi.
it's because obviously the Christian doctrine of the Trinity is that that's why Jesus says, I was sent by the Father. So obviously he has to submit in some
Is that
form
the nature of God to submit to someone else?
for God to submit.
Yeah.
If Jesus is the Son of God, as the Bible says,
I did ask you that. Is it the nature of God to submit to someone else?
Jesus is submitting to the Father.
Yeah, but
The Ten Commandments says, honor your father
Paper boy,
and
look at my
mother.
question.
Yeah.
Is it the nature of the Most High
The nature of the Most High.
to submit to another God, to another being?
If we believe that Jesus is God and he says, I've been sent by the Father, then of course we will agree with that.
No, but
so you can't say,
so-
is it in the nature? 'Cause
No.
that's what we believe.
So therefore, your belief goes contradicts sound reasoning and natural
Why?
inclination. Because sound reasoning, natural inclination, no God, he has the absolute authority.
prove it?
Yeah, has absolute
Prove it,
authority.
prove
Okay,
it.
I'll tell you why.
All right.
If God submits to something, therefore that God he has something lesser than the other one. That's why he submits to his will. Therefore, they don't share the same will as you claim. Because the fact that someone submits to the other one, therefore his will is greater than his will.
No, you
Because
just-
if they have the same will, they cannot submit to each other.
To submit doesn't mean you're lesser in being or
No.
attributes.
That's how, okay. To submit.
Because to submit doesn't mean, to submit just means that you are allowing something to be done. It doesn't mean that
You
someone
are
has
what?
more power, more
You are
strength.
allowing.
or-
No. Submit.
submit.
No.
Doesn't
Submit
mean you're weaker
when
than
you.
the person.
No. Submit when you humble yourself
Yeah,
to someone.
humble.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're lesser in person or ontology.
No.
Ontology.
But if you have the same, look.
Yeah.
If there's two God and they have the same will, same power, same authority, if one of them submits to other one, therefore he has something lesser. Because if they have the same power, it's like one power, like full power submit to full power. It doesn't make any sense. Someone who has, if God has full power, full ability, full wisdom, full mercy, justice. Another one, they cannot submit because
but-
they have the same
No,
thing.
because that's this is the problem. This is a mistake. Because, for example, correct me if I'm
You're wrong.
wrong. In the Quran, it says, or I've heard Muslims say that if you have three persons, they would all disagree, right? And then you have chaos. But the only way for three persons to act as one is if they all have a type of role. Because if, for example, let's say.
No, it doesn't say three persons anyway.
Doesn't say that.
No,
We're
but
talking
listen to what I'm
If there
saying.
was more than one God.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm, more than one God. Or whatever. I said if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I'm saying if you think something's right, he thinks something's right, and he has a different agreement, there's always going to be chaos. So in terms of the Trinity, it's trying to say for them to act as one, they agree and they act in unison. So therefore, they don't disagree with something. So they act as one will. Because if you act as your own will, he acts as his own will, he acts as His own will, then they're always going to be. There's nothing going to be done.
Contradicted yourself.
Yeah, because you said you share the same. You said
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just
How
no,
does-
wait.
exactly.
Wait, people, when you're speaking, no, wait, no. You just contradict yourself because you said all of them have the same will.
Yes.
So if another person submits to the other one, they don't have the same will. Because
don't have
if
the same actions.
they know same actions. Because if they have same will, same power, same ability, if one of them go to submit to the other one, therefore they don't have the same will, same power, same ability.
Yeah,
One of them is lesser.
But then when we say what is the will, so we say God has a divine essence. So from that divine essence is what generates God's will. For example, God knows what is right. The truth always.
No,
the
can
truth
you
is
stop because you're making no
objective.
sense. Can you look for the verse? The verse. Forget you are not going off topic. With explanation.
Yeah,
No. You look for it. Forget about talking. Just look for it.
Can I just say something while listening to that, yeah?
Because you said proclaim. Because clearly said.
When we talk about lesser than greater, remember just literally says that God's greater than. It says the one who sent me is greater than that.
Yes, but
So-
he
so
also
he
says
says
he also
Yeah,
says
says
his
greater.
disciples will do works greater than he did. Which
No,
of
we're
the
not about work.
disciples?
Not about work.
But in this, I said the
Not
same.
about work.
The
Not
same.
doing this.
What God
King
he said,
James
my
and
Father
New
is
York
greater than I.
mistranslate
In the
the
next
Bible.
sentence, he
Because they
says,
said knowledge.
my
Knowledge in
disciples will
English
do
is what
works
they say
greater
was
than I.
Work.
They said greater. He said greater than I. So what I'm saying is the
Yeah, but
word
listen
term
what you're
greater
saying. Listen what
does
you're
not necessarily.
No,
mean-
What God is and works is two different things. When you say God is greater than that, it's talking about God, what God is.
I'm saying,
Can you look for the verse?
You can't take one verse, read.
No problem. Can you look for the verse? While you, brothers and sisters, and ladies and gentlemen out there, you can see Christian clearly goes and gets natural inclination and sound reasoning. He is now trying to justify how someone is the all-powerful being, all-powerful God, submit to someone else, which doesn't make any sense. Wallahi, come to Islam. إنما ربكم الله الذي خلقكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, your Lord is Allah who created you. You have to go, huh? Who created you and create everything. Allah, Islam clear and simple, makes sense to everyone. Why? Because Allah is the God of everyone. He's not the God of Aristotle alone.
How does it make
No,
sense?
go on.
Alright, I'm going to ask you a question after.
No,
I read
before,
it.
no, stick
I
to
said,
this.
I said after.
All right, I'll get the verse.
So
What's the
this
time?
is the
What's the
commentary.
Go on.
So I think this is the Albert notes on the whole Bible. So it says this text has always presented serious difficulties. It has been asked, of course, because people have different interpretations.
Yeah.
Like we can always, within any text, there's always scholars that disagree with.
No,
something.
about God, everything, especially
Of
the
course
clear
not.
things. Yeah.
Because even when I'm going to ask you about Tawheed,
No,
see
we're
that
talking
there's
about
different-
the Bible.
I said I'm going to answer
No, we stick to the Bible.
Of course.
Because-
No, but you see, but I'm going to ask you about Tawheed after.
Before I ask you to talk about
Yeah,
the Bible.
that's why I said that's fine. That's why I'm
Stick
reading
to the
this.
point, because I know you go
Yeah.
off topic too much.
No, but I
Stick
said
to the
I'm going to
Bible.
read this and I'm going to ask
No,
about Tawheed.
stick to the Bible, subject to the Bible.
Yeah, it
Go.
says if Jesus had a divine nature, how could he say that he knew not the day and the hour of a future event? In reply, it has been said that the passage was missing according to Ambrose in some Greek
Was missing?
manuscripts. In some Greek manuscripts, but it is now found in all, and there can be little doubt that the passage is genuine. Others have said that the verb rendered knoweth means to make known or to reveal, and that the passages mean that day and hour no one makes known, neither the angels nor the Son, but the Father. It is true that the word has sometimes that meaning, as in 1 Corinthians 2:2. So then basically that's what I'm saying, because they're
How we
looking
make
at
it known? How we
the-
make it
the
known?
word- The word
How we make it known?
well, he announces for the people, Jesus coming back, announces to the heavens, everyone in the heavens.
Okay, but who has the authority to announce?
Yeah, the Father.
No, is it God? Who has the absolute authority?
The Father.
No, that's God has the absolute authority.
Does he have the absolute
Yeah.
authority? In what sense?
Like, look, for example, if God wants to create something,
Yeah.
is he in need of anyone to give it? Does God seek anyone permission before he does anything?
But remember, we say
No. My question: does God
Yeah.
seek anyone's permission before he does or says anything?
no.
Why?
Actually,
no. Why?
Wait. But in the Bible, remember Genesis 1:26, God says, "Let us make man in our image."
I forgot about us because
So-
why?
so
no,
he's talking-
No, Hebrew, as you know, the
Yeah.
Jewish differ with you concerning
But
us.
that's how we interpret
No, but you interpret it. They interpret it a different way. So
Okay.
stick to what is clear.
That is
no,
clear.
wait, no. Let's say carefully.
That is clear for
That's
us.
not ask my question.
God said, "Let us make man in our image."
Okay, so did God ask anyone permission before he create?
Before he created, it just says in the beginning there was the heavens and the earth.
I did ask
And
you that.
It said he
But
couldn't-
boy, I'm asking you: is God in need of anyone's permission
No.
before he? Why?
Why? Because God is the highest.
And I know he's the highest.
Yeah.
So if he's the highest, he's not in need of no one
Okay.
to give him permission.
No. Yeah, no, he's not in it.
Because he has absolute authority.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But you just showed me that Jesus has absolute authority. Because he said he cannot proclaim something.
But we Christians believe that Jesus created the
care of
world.
yourself.
But in the Old Testament,
Hey,
it says God
making no
created the world,
sense.
and we believe that Jesus was the one. So where did Jesus ask the Father for permission to create the world?
Wait,
That's what I'm saying.
in the Old Testament, it said Jesus created the world.
So that's what we believe.
In the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Show me what Jesus created the world. Old Testament.
Because
No. Show me. No. In the Old Testament, you said, not John. Old Testament.
Yeah, you see, I said what we believe in John 1:1. What does it say? Everything was created through him, right?
There's difference through him, and he was creating
So
it.
how was the world created through Jesus?
Okay, now,
As per John.
if I'm going to Birmingham, I'm going through what? A40.
Yeah.
Is A40 me or Birmingham? Or A40 is a means? Is a means.
So Jesus-
So there's someone who created for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
So it has to be someone else who used Jesus because it's through him, not just from him. There's difference between through him and from him. You see, I came through
But let me read the
Queensway.
verse. Look, it said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Okay, now where's that? So without him, like now, if I want to cut, for example, if I want to cut a banana and I use the knife,
Yeah.
and I say, if I didn't have a knife, I will not be able to cut the banana. But the knife did not cut the banana by itself. I used it through. I cut the banana through. So through means the means. So who created the creation?
But where does it say he
God.
was told to create?
Because through in language, English language, when you say through him, it's different when from him. I went to Bush through Queensway Way. No one would think Shamsi came originally from Queensway Way. He used Queensway Way as a means to reach Shepherd Bush.
Yeah, but your theology and your understanding is different from us. For example,
not English, it's the word, it's the
Let
word.
me give you one more example.
Go define
Let me
through
give you
ways.
one more example. In the Bible, Jesus, when he's referred,
Alhamdulillah for Islam.
remember we're going for our theology. You don't have to agree with. But
No, of course,
Jesus,
God and get. My
but
point
listen
here to
what I'm
show
saying. Wait,
that you believe God and gets
remember
human.
in the Bible,
disagree with you, what
yeah,
you're
but
saying.
Jesus says, I will die, and I will restore this temple within 3 days.
Don't use that. That's suicidal. Don't use that.
And then in
Say it
the-
again.
that Jesus says he will raise himself from the dead.
Yeah, I'm telling him to say it again.
That Jesus says that this temple will be destroyed and I will raise it up in 3 days, talking about his body. Then we also see, I think in Acts or Romans, that Paul attributes it to God raising up Jesus.
Not to go to the Father.
To the Father.
Yes,
But
not to
Jesus
God.
said he will
I
raise
thought
it
just
up.
attribute to
And
God
the
as well.
Holy Spirit was also said to raise Jesus as well. So we see all three.
Who does he say Holy Spirit will raise him?
So can I say?
Wait. So that. No. But that's contradiction.
No, can we
Because
say
if he
just-
said the Father
In
raised him,
Ephesians, yeah. So in Ephesians.
if he said the Father.
All right, never mind what Paul says.
Yeah,
Can I tell
so
you
what
what
yeah, exactly. Hold on. So if we, yeah, you're saying forget what Paul said, but Jesus said he
no, show
will
what Jesus
raise-
said. Show what Jesus said.
No, but what I'm
Forget all of
saying
this.
to you-
Go to the point is, we just established with your own wording
Yes.
that God is not in need of anyone to give him permission to do anything. Correct? So if Jesus, he cannot proclaim something, therefore he cannot be the same God who is the Most High, who has absolute authority. That is so clear.
And let me just ask you one question, because I've answered it.
Paper boy,
Let me ask you one question.
Paper boy, listen.
Let me ask one question. Just one question. You see, I give him time. That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. Right, I know. That's why
I want something where you keep on making
Jesus is the light of the world.
1 Timothy 2:5, there you are. One God. One mediator. Who's that? Who's that? Black dude, yeah.